What's goody to the guys? What's popping to the people? Y'all know what time it is. Hey, this one right here. Woo-hoo. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to tell y'all. I feel like Money Man is prime right now. No, this ain't no Money Man. This the pretty boy. I'm finna put the pretty boy on y'all tonight, man. Check it out. It took me a minute because I was conflicted because I'm thinking like I really want to go in, but then I be having certain friends in certain places that I don't be wanting to think I'm taking shots. It's just in general because a lot of people be saying that like information can get divisive. You got Christians, you got Israelites, you got Muslims, you got Kemetic scholars, you got blah 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 blah, and all these different ideologies. And it seems that everybody wants the same thing. So then people tend to say, well, what difference does it make as long as they're doing the right thing? And I used to think that. Until you get into what this religion thing really is, what it's all about, then it pretty much paints a way different picture to the point where you understand that the damage being done and the things being set in place is astronomical. So you can't just turn a blind eye to it. Like I say all the time, I think the worst things that ever happened excuse me, y'all. If I had to pinpoint the worst three things that ever happened to us in America or whatever you want to call it, I would say quite naturally slavery. That's a no-brainer. But I'm saying past that point, integration, rap music, religion, bow. That's the trifecta. Integration. Well, first you had religion, then integration, then rap music to just put the icing on the cake. And I love rap music. I was raised on it, so that's not what I'm saying. But I had to recently admit that it is horrible. One of the worst things in our society. Can't say community because we don't have one. But it's one of the worst things in this so-called black culture, which we don't really have that either. But it's horrible. And religion is leading the forefront. And once you start to see, and this is what I'm recently learning. When you start breaking, and this is going to be another Bible series. So we've been doing the perception series, and it's so the first one we did perception and analytics, Christianity under the microscope, and then we recently did the Easter thing. I don't remember what I called it, but it was perception 2, the resurrection. And now this will be perception 3 and 10 Commandments, fact or fiction. Now y'all know me, I go in, so we're gonna go way deeper than just the 10 Commandments. But we'll end it with that. And I'll let you all see for yourself. Like we say, we researchers, you can come up with your own conclusions. I'm not going to make up your mind for you. But what we're going to do is blow by blow, break down this entire 10 Commandments situation. If you want to find something out, you do it objectively like real researchers. So I feel like I have an advantage because I don't have a religious preference. When you do, you tend to be tainted. So it's hard to get a person who has a certain belief system to look into their belief system and say, oh, that's flawed. Maybe I should try something else. If that was easy, we wouldn't have a world full of religious people. So either way it go, let's get to it. We're not going to waste time because like we always do about this time, it's almost 3:30 in the morning. So I'm going to start with some I train boxing. So I'm going to, this round one, this going to be some jabs. I'm just going to hit you with some crispy jabs to let you know I ain't playing with you. Then we going to break down this whole We're gonna break down Moses, the Israelites, this whole story, this wondrous story, because this is a historical event, right? Ten Commandments, Israelites being slaves in Egypt, and Moses freed them, and this is real history, right? In the words of the Italian American, "Get out of here." No, this is not, and that's where y'all get lost at. You just tend to believe because somebody you love says something spiffy that it's right, and the reality is they're just somebody you love saying something spiffy. And we're arrogant people. A lot of times we don't even look into the stuff that we tell other people. We just prefer to be right and not have to think about it. That's where I come in. You're going to have to be right dealing with me, brother. So therefore, you're not just going to tell me some wondrous white guy parted the Red Sea, some horrible Egyptians enslaved and closed the water on the chariots. And I mean, I say this all the time. Do y'all think it all? Before I even break this thing down, let's give an overview of this little story of y'all's. So let me get this straight. Y'all see me doing that on my phone. I got a wisdom tooth coming in that is killing me, so please excuse me. But let's just pull this story apart for a second, because this is real history. Now, there's the Egyptians. They're horrible people, and they're enslaving these Israelite people. And then the Pharaoh finds out that there's going to be someone that is an Israelite or a Hebrew child that is going to lead the people later on and stuff. So then the Pharaoh says, well, in that case, kill all the firstborn of every Hebrew, and that way we don't have to worry about this problem. And so therefore they go out throughout the kingdom or wherever, killing all these firstborn Hebrew kids. And the special child that they're looking for is Moses. So his mama take him and put him in a basket after she couldn't hide him no longer, and sent him up the river. And then he went down the river in a basket unharmed, cause he's Moses. And then his auntie or something picked him up, found him, and they raised him. I guess maybe back then that's what they did in Egypt, found strange babies in the water and raised them to be kings. Common practice, I guess. Could have happened to anybody. So that's what they did. And then, but he somehow figured out that he was supposed to be Moses, maybe through vision. God used to vision people a lot. He don't do that no more, but he used to vision a lot of white people back in the days. So, okay, so God visioned Moses and then told him, you the special person. So then Moses is like, okay, well, I got to get it together, bro. So I can't be over here acting like I'm rich when really I'm supposed to be over here with the poor folks. So then Moses decide he got to throw all the rich stuff away and then ride with the poor folks. So he goes and he threatened the Pharaoh. Y'all know the movie with all the white people singing, let my people go. That part, yeah. So then he freed the people. But no, he didn't free them. He threatened them a whole bunch of times. Okay, so he had to go back like 3 times and keep showing the Pharaoh, like, Pharaoh, don't play with me. God don't play. And he kept doing different tricks. He was turning sticks into snakes. And, he turned the water into wine. And, it rained like frogs or big bugs, locusts. I don't even know what the hell it is, but it rained those things. And finally, the Pharaoh. My granny used to watch this every year. Like, it's like a 9-hour movie. Don't ask me why she watched it every year for 9 hours, but she loved it. Probably gonna watch it this year. I'm almost positive. So either way it go, it rained. They put the bumps on everybody. I think that was the last straw. Moses came back like, dude, you keep playing? Okay, you think God playing? Okay, God, let them know you ain't playing. Then God turned everybody bumpy. Like, boom, they had like Ebola times 10 all over. And then Pharaoh was like, you know what? All right, I can handle all of this, but I got like 37 wives. Ain't no way I'm finna, okay, God, you win, I tap out. Now, after that happened, Moses take like, I think it's like 1 million slaves, free them. And he walking 1 million people out. If it ain't 1 million, it's at least over 500,000. I'll get the figures for y'all in a second. Okay, so now he do that and he freeing all of these people and they walking just on foot, free. Now, the same Pharaoh that just released 1 million people, do y'all know what a line of 1 million people look like? I seen the line outside the mall on Jordan Day and it's ridiculous. I seen pictures of crack lines in the 80s, nuts all the way around the corner. So imagine 1 million people. So Moses frees or 500,000 people and they're just walking. And the Pharaoh chases them. How do you chase 1 million people? It's beyond my comprehension. Like, how you can't, I don't know. I don't get it. But he does. He gets in the chariots, which they didn't have at the time. And then he chases them into the ocean. Now, here's where the story gets really weird for me. And I ain't talking about biblical. I'm just talking about common sense thinking. If I'm chasing 500,000 people, first of all, I'm curious as to why we're chasing people that we just set free. And not only that, the reason why we set them free, because the dude who's leading them has turned the entire kingdom into like disease infested creatures. So we got scared and we tapped out. And then somehow in the next however long it takes 1 million people to walk really far, we forgot that happened. So we decided to chase these people. No, great, cool story, bro. So now, we chase them to the sea, the Red Sea. Now, when we get to the sea, to chase these 1 million people who we're really terrified of and just let free, the dude with the stick thingy who's been really destroying us every time he come threaten us, that guy, he's standing out front of 1 million people. He waves the stick thingy again, and the water parts in half. And he takes 1 million people through the sea. And I'm supposed to believe that there are soldiers that will watch a man open up a sea and then chase him into that sea. The same guy who they're terrified of because he just turned them into creatures and made it rain frogs. That guy. I'm going to chase that guy into a parted sea. But this is historical, though. That's the only problem. Because this is the Bible. So let's get back to the story. There's one more. Well, there's a couple more parts that are unbelievable. So now, after the dude parts the sea, and somehow 1 million people run through a sea, which typically speaking should take about a month, but they did it. So they run through the sea, and then I follow them in there because I believe, somehow, I believe this. I believe that the guy with the stick thingy, who every time we try to do something to these 1 million people, he F's us up really bad. Now he has parted the sea and taken his million people into the sea. And I somehow believe that he's going to leave that sea parted long enough for us to get over there and catch them. So I chase him because I believe he'll do that for me. And y'all just be in Sunday school just so happy with your pretty little outfit on, and you just be so pleased with the pastor. He's sweating with his little handkerchief, and he delivering the sermon just so forcefully. And did y'all hear that dumbass story I just told you? This is one of the foundations of your belief. Like, you really have to, in order to be a Christian or a Hebrew or whatever the case may be, you have to believe this dumbass story. And then you get mad at me because I don't believe it. Do me a favor. Since y'all don't like it when I'm talking, technically this is a recording. So after I say this part, if you rewind it and hear it like 4 or 5 times in a row, that's essentially not the same as me actually saying it. So then you wouldn't have to get aggravated with me per se, and you can still get the information. It's just a thought. Oh yeah, back to the story. So now, after that, Moses goes up to the mountain. He tell the people, all right, now, y'all know God. I've been telling y'all about my dude, like the dude, excuse me for the disrespect, my father, the big fella. He been waiting on us. Y'all his people. My job was to deliver his people how I do. I deliver. So he gonna deliver. Now, I'm finna go up there, holler at Pops. Probably gonna take me a week or something. When I'm done with that, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have law. No, I'm talking about law. Yeah. You know what? I don't like you in the back. You always ask me dumb questions. Wow, what we gonna do about the murder? Look, we somewhere else, so I ain't worried about that murder. I got rid of dude. Come on, man. Look, stop. We just drowned like a couple thousand people in the ocean. And you worried about some dude I beat up back in Egypt? He had it coming. Broke nigga neck. I don't play. Anyway, now, back to what I'm trying to tell you. Stay focused, brother. I'm going up to the mountain, holler at Pops for about a week, come back, have everything ready. Now, Moses goes up to the mountain, Mount Sinai or whatever, and he has this, a bush start burning, and that's God. Now, I know I said I was going to finish the story, but I be having questions. And we family, so y'all can help me. Just one question. Why does the Almighty God himself appear as a damn burning bush? And why did he expect me to talk to a burning bush? Like, God supposed to know everything. And according to you Israelites, Moses supposed to be black. So then God know niggas don't talk to burning bushes, we run. So in a real live scenario, that wouldn't have worked, because soon as the bush lit on fire and started talking, Moses, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm trying, Moses would have been back down the hill with the rest of the Israelites. It ain't no way. No niggas, wait, excuse me. I'm for real though. Ain't no black man, person of color, stand on no mountain by himself, talking to no burning bush, bro. I'm just, chosen or not, you God gonna have to choose again, cause ain't no. Oh, let me get my juice, man. Y'all be tripping. But Moses was chosen, so obviously, when you chosen, That's just what you do. You talk to burning bushes because God could be anywhere. God is everywhere, so you expect that. I'm following you. So, all right, now. So Moses get the law. Bow, 10 of them. God. Oh, yeah. Not only is he talking to a burning bush, the burning bush is writing in concrete with flames and talking with like a real deep voice. And Moses is just like, all right, I got you, God. And I'm still going to stand my ground and say, and I'll debate this. I'll debate anybody in the community. Ain't no black man stand on no mountain by himself talking to no burning bush while it's writing in concrete with flames. I don't think so. I don't believe that. But it's possible because this is the Bible and this is history. All right, now let's get back to the story. So now after that happens, then Moses go back down to the Israelites and he say, ta-da, I got what God said. But the problem is this. When he get back down there, the Israelites they're having orgies, and they have somehow built a statue of a golden calf about the size of an SUV. And they're drinking wine. So Moses get mad and throw the tablets and fuck up everything. But okay, I just didn't want to stop y'all's story because I know y'all getting tired of me. But this is the part where I gotta ask another question. Okay, you've been enslaved for hundreds of thousands of years in this horrible land of Egypt. Finally, this man come back for y'all on 3 separate occasions. Now you know, like I know, if you got somebody hostage and somebody come talking about, hey, I know you got my peoples, we coming for them. Why you still got them? You gonna make it rough on them, a little bit more rougher because, oh, dude think he tough, he keep coming back. Okay, take this. You probably rough the slaves up a little bit more. So my point is, every time Moses came back with new shenanigans, it probably was horrible on the Israelites after that until he came back again. Point is, after all of that, 1,000 years of servitude, you get freed under a new God. This man leads you through a parted water. I mean, realistically, after it started raining frogs, the nigga had me. But okay, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, apparently you're not impressed that much. So after he parts the sea, you still don't believe that he could do what he say. Because when he come back, you obviously built a golden calf, which is, we're going to get into what that was all about because we're going to get into that. So anyway, and you got whiskey. So after 1,000 years of servitude, all you could think about is orgies, and not only that, it's a million niggas. Or I shouldn't say that because y'all be all politically correct. I'm a street dude. So it is a million people of color. And when I say that, it's not a reference to people of color. I call anybody my nigga. I just use it. I don't be caring. But I'm going to be right for y'all. So anyway, go. So now, it's a million of these people of color. Or 500,000. We're going to stick with like 600,000 or something like that, I think the figures is. So we're going to stick with that number. We'll keep saying 600,000. If I get corrected, that's fine. I'm in the area. So 600,000. And everybody that's been slaves for thousands of years, black folks, and everybody agreed to take the gold and make a statue with it. Not one black person said, nigga, we broke. I ain't with it. Come on, man. What are you doing? Y'all believe this? Not one person out of not a group of 10, not a group of 10. You couldn't get 25 niggas off to the side like, gee, I ain't no way you getting my gold. And how did they get this gold? People say they was stealing on the way out. They stole enough gold to make a cow the size of a SUV or a Hummer. Come on, y'all. I'm going to keep telling the story, but it ain't getting no better for y'all. I'm just telling you. I'm going to have a ball with this one. This is, okay. So, now, last but not least, somehow, because they fucked up, while Moses, because so far as I can see, Moses has done pretty much everything God asked. And in a splendid fashion, might I add. And now, for some reason, because they screwed up, God mad at Moses and punished Moses. And the rest of them, he punished them to walk in wilderness for 40 years until they get to the promised land. And as soon as they find it, Moses died. So he never even made it. The end. Okay, I'm just gonna say it because I can't hold it in. And please forgive me, Granny, because I made sure I didn't curse that much. It's only like one so far, maybe two. But if you do watch this one, Granny, I'm sorry, but that's a dumb story. I love you. You know I love you. But that story's dumb. It is. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all understand. When y'all keep saying, why do I do this? I do this for my granny. I do it for y'all too. But she's such a sweet old lady. And if she knew how bad that these people was tricking her, it would just break her little heart. So if she hear from her grandbaby, she know I don't mean her no harm. And outside of that, I don't mind banging y'all Christians because your religion sucks. All right, so let's go. Now that we did all that, here's what's wrong with the stupid story. First of all, none of this is rooted in history. None of it. None of this story lines up with historical fact. And this is the problem that I find all the time with you religious dudes. You refuse to read any text outside of your religious framework. If you stay inside your books, or if you step outside of your books, you step outside of it for information that corroborates what you already believe. That's not research, brother. Brothers and sisters, research is looking in places you don't want to find answers. Whether you like them or not. We want answers. I don't care about comfort or whether my viewpoint stands up and it's wrong. What is that? Okay, so I win a debate and I'm dead wrong. Yippee-yay. Y'all don't be thinking. Okay, anyway, let's get to it. So now, let's start with the beginning. Introduction. Founder stories. Many religions and nations have founder stories where the founder has some unique beginning so as to tell the listeners, look, this guy or gal is special. Now, hence, the baby in the basket thing. Now, what you all don't understand when you're in church and you're hooping and hollering and you're enjoying this wonderful story, it's been told before. Surprise, no. Noah was not the first baby in the basket story. There are many others, but I'm going to show you two more that predate Christianity. So check this out. This is Karna. In this story, a virgin is impregnated by the sun god. In shame, the child is sent down a river and found by a charioteer who found him in and found by a charioteer who found him a famous teacher of war. This child was Karna, who would become major warrior in the Mahabharata. I know I screwed that up, but this predates Christianity. And notice the impregnated by a virgin thing. That's just a double bonus. And In Greek mythology, which I can prove predates your religion, is also Zeus impregnates virgins. It seems the God for some reason likes virgins, and that's kind of twisted that you see that so much being attached to God in all these different stories. And I'm gonna deal with that in a whole lecture on how Jesus is the product of a pedophile relationship. Oh, did I say that? Okay, I'm not gonna do that now, but I can prove it. So please don't run up on me talking about blasphemy and all that, because I'm so disrespectful with this information. Now, back to these horrible stories y'all like. Um, of course, you have Moses, Judaism, and Christianity. The Jewish Bible, the book of Exodus tells the myth about how the Jews were exiled to Egypt, and then later Moses led them out of captivity. Very few scholars would doubt this story as fictionalized. Now, keep in mind, the foundation of this religion, Jews were exiled to Egypt. Hold that thought. Now, wait, hold on. I gotta find my other. Here we go. Sargon the Great, king of the Akkadian Empire. Sargon the Great was the king of Arcadia around 2300 BCE. A similar basket beginning to the Jewish Moses. Sargon was born as an illegitimate son of a priestess or a low-class woman. In shame, she secretly hid her child and then placed him in a basket of reeds and floated him down a river where baby Sargon was found by a man and raised as his own son, only there later to become a great king and leader. The similarities to Moses are uncanny. Okay. So now, what you do in research is you have to, first of all, discredit, raise a question. Is all you merely have to do. Raise the what if. So now, what we just did with the beginning part of this religion is the baby in the basket thing by Moses. Christianity tells us this happened to Moses. Okay. They said that is a fact. Your pastor does not tell you that it might have happened. He says it did. Okay, so now, therefore, if it really happened, why are there two other stories predating Moses saying the same thing? Did this happen simultaneously, or did God just have a thing for creating babies that will later have to be put in baskets, so he did it generationally to prove a point? My point exactly. The defense rests. Now, moving on. Now, let's just see, because we want to give the benefit of the doubt as good researchers. Let's just see. This is the Exodus. Let's just see what this Exodus thing is all about. But first of all, here we go. The book of, wait, let me blow this up a little bit. I'm getting old. These eyes ain't working like they used to. I'm gonna go to work on y'all though. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I know there's a couple of y'all was thinking yes. No. You still gonna get it. You think I stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning to let y'all off the hook? It's crazy. Let's get it. The book of Genesis and the book of Exodus describe a period of Hebrew servitude in ancient Egypt during decades of sojourn in Egypt. The escape of well over 1 million Israelites. Well, I stand corrected. From the Delta and the 3-month journey through the wilderness of Sinai. This episode is not corroborated by any historical evidence and is regarded by scholars to be fictitious. Israelites first appear in archaeological record on the Merneptah stele, from between 1208 to 3 BC at the end of the Bronze Age. Now, I'm going to stop there because this is where, hold on, y'all give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to get my situation together. Now, this is where good research will do you right at. Because I just said a couple things that I'm going to break down for you. Now, right here it says, first of all, we have to prove that the Hebrew servitude in ancient Egypt ever happened. Now, it says over 1 million Israelites. And then, this is the most important thing. Pay attention to this. This episode is not corroborated by any historical evidence and is regarded by scholars to be fictitious. Israelites first appear in the archaeological record on the Merneptah stele from between 1208 to 3 BCE. Now, at the end of the Bronze Age. Now, the Bronze Age is how long Egypt reigned. Now, what you have to understand, here's how they playing games with you. First of all, you got to know that the Bronze Age or the Bronze Era is somewhere from around 3000 BCE to about, it's debatable, 35, somewhere in there, BCE. From that time period, Egypt ruled. That was the Egyptian dynasty, this great Egyptian dynasty that you hear about, multiple dynasties, around 21 or 22 dynasties. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. I'm just tightening up my Egypt game, but I'm coming. So either way it goes. Now, from that time period, Egypt controlled Israel. So Israel, for all of that time, was a part of Egypt. Now, you have America. All different types of nationalities are in America, but we call them Americans. They identify with different groups, different sects back home, where they come from, but overall, they are identified as Americans. So if Israel was controlled by Egypt for a couple thousand years, wouldn't they be Egyptians? Hold that thought. We're going to deal with that, baby. I'm just getting warmed up. Y'all play too much. My thing fucked up. Oh, my thing fucked up.